What is the most dangerous thing people don't realize is all that dangerous? The pin setters in a bowling alley. They are well over 1,000 pounds of mechanized death by steel and moving belts. Some of the scariest moments of my life have been me running slapping the six between me and the emergency shut-off behind the front desk as a toddler runs, slipping and sliding, down the lane while their parents or guardians are laughing by the table because they thought it was cute. Even experienced pin setter mechanics have been crushed to death during scheduled maintenance. Pin setters are machines of convenience, entertainment, and death. Tripping. The human body has weirdly perfect proportions for killing itself from an uncontrolled fall onto a hard surface. Drunken scuffle. Friends messing about. Navigating a dark apartment. Getting in and out of the shower. Hurrying up or down stairs. Any of these that result in your head falling from about standing height and hitting the floor or concrete or a rock can very well kill you or somebody else. Lots of people have had their lives ruined by this as they either caused someone to fall, fell themselves or had a close family member fall. One bad fall in a drunk fight turns it from a scuffle to manslaughter.
Hey guys, much like you, I love reading people's stories on Ask Reddit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weird middle school level, just thought experiment type hypotheticals like nice try Baskin Robbins. I don't find this compelling, so that's why I've made it my mission to trawl and crawl through Ask Reddit and find the very best content and put it in your ears. That's why I'm begging you, like and subscribe. If there's anything I can do to help you out, give you the kind of content that you crave to help you get through your workday, let me know in a comment. But please, like and subscribe.
Water. Not even joking, I've been sent photos by people who had the grand idea of placing a swimming pool on the balcony of their third-floor flat and showing them filling it. They get annoyed when I tell them to stop right fucking there and empty that shot before they kill someone. Because some people don't understand that water is pretty fucking heavy, and when you put a 5,000-liter swimming pool on your balcony, you've essentially parked a tipper truck on it. Passengers should never rest their feet on the dash of the car, because when the airbag does its thing, it is only one way to go. Several terrible things can happen at this point. 1. Your knees get pushed into your face, and I won't paint that picture. Or, 2. Your hips are dislocated. Old people lived in my house before me and they had rails installed in the shower to help with this. Even in my remaining years of my 20s I found them to be valuable, and probably did save me from a nasty slip at least once, and think stuff like that should be a standard in all showerspaths. Black ice is extremely dangerous. My grandpa was putting salt down after an ice storm the day after Christmas. My dad was in town visiting and insisted Grandpa stay off the ice. Grandpa fell right in front of my dad, hit his head hard. Woke up once in the hospital when my grandma was by his side, and then passed. When I see those fail videos of people slipping on ice I cringe. Yes. Was living in the bush for a while and some others had decided to make a fire pit, but hadn't known about this. Luckily it was later in the day and by the time the rocks heated up and exploded everyone had left for bed. But definitely use some rocks. There was another fire pit made without any stones, and eventually the roots of the trees caught and was just slowly burning beneath the ground. It took roughly 60 liters of water to put out, and the ground just sank a good foot or two. I'd read something like that happening a few weeks before on Reddit, so recognized immediately what was going on when I saw the smoke, well after the actual fire had burned out. So thanks random Redditor that posted about this happening to them. A bush to the bush. It seems to be a problem lol. It was a forest. But New Zealand forest, so. Bush. Let your rocks dry out, or use some further up the bank from the river so they're less likely to contain as much water. Shenandoah Reserve, South Island NZ for any curious. Tacking onto this, large bodies of water. We have a huge lake not far from where I live and everyone says it's haunted BC. Every summer people die on the lake. It's not haunted, people just go out on the water grossly unprepared and drown when shit hits the fan. Because so many people have tried to guess, I am referring to Lake Mead in southern Nevada. A few years ago, I was working at Best Buy. One of the delivery guys called out sick, so I volunteered to be the second guy in the truck. About midway through the day, we stopped at McDonald's to use the bathroom. When we walk on, we were instantly hit with the most acrid, intense smell of chlorine. My eyes instantly watered and it stung my nose and out just a breath. Didn't think anything more than someone use a lot of bleach to clean. The next day both me and the other delivery guy had called out sick cause we could barely breath. It took us both a few days to get back to work. It wasn't until after did I figure out someone probably mixed ammonia and bleach together to clean. It's the opposite where I live, Australia. The foreigners think it will be the wildlife that will kill you, when in reality the chances of that are extremely low. It's actually the beach that will kill you. It's so common for tourists to drown that we have a TV show about it called Bondi Rescue, which has been running for 13 seasons.
I turned 36 this year, and I decided to focus on my physical fitness, so I bought a swim club membership. The only problem was, most of the time when I go swimming, I wind up getting an ear infection. So it turns out that normal earplugs, they kind of irritate your ear canal, they don't really work, they don't keep the water out, but there is an amazing kind of earplug. It's called Mack's Pillow Soft Silicone earplugs that, they feel great, they keep the water out 100%, they're reusable, and they don't irritate your ear canal at all, no issues. If you've ever had a severe ear infection, you don't want to experience that again. It can permanently damage your hearing if you're unlucky. So investing in these earplugs is definitely a good idea. Also, when my baby was crying later this year and I could not get to sleep, I used the same earplugs and they worked great. I was able to sleep right next to a crying baby. So be sure to click my affiliate link and purchase some of these Mack's earplugs today.
He was quite shocked. An Indian from rural India that hadn't seen much of technology until he got to the US to go to university. He was a work-study on a student visa. Smart guy, really, he learned fast. But there were lots of hazards he just hadn't been exposed to. My old man got drunk, fell on a cobbled road and didn't have the cognitive ability to cushion his fall with his hands, so instead he used his head. Ended up with a bleed on the brain that was so bad it leaked out of his skull and pooled in his face. He was warned if it was to happen again he wouldn't be so lucky. Hasn't stopped him getting ridiculously drunk. I remember reading someone else talking about how they took a college class on stress. They said they thought it would be stuff like how to deal with stress, but no. It was a class explaining how stress slowly destroys your body on a molecular level. Glad you posted this. I just read this and had posted about pets tripping people. The older I get, the more I realize how easy it is to trip and fall. I have had people's pets dart between my legs while walking, cats just stop right in my path, and dogs on leashes try to weave between us while walking. I won't give up mine or ask anyone else to. Everyone should be more aware of how easy pets can be the reason for a trip and fall. Any high pressure fluid, honestly. My dad used to be an electrician on a nuclear submarine. The reactors use extremely high pressure steam to move thermal energy around. The pressure is so insanely high that you literally cannot see it if it leaks out of a pipe. If the sensors detected a leak, the way they would search for the leak would be to hold a broom in front of them as they walked around the mechanical systems. They knew they had found the leak when the broom's bristles got spontaneously cut clean off. And hydraulic systems are just as terrifying. If one of the fluid tanks is leaking, it can inject that hydraulic fluid straight into your bloodstream without causing an entry wound. Aside from the obvious danger of having a non-sterilized fluid injected into your blood, hydraulic fluid is highly toxic. Historically, women were excluded from crash tests, too. The dummies were always made to represent the average male. Women are more likely to die from a car crash in older models because cars were designed for the safety of humans with entirely different weight distribution. In 2003, car companies started including female crash test dummies, but as passengers, and based on a 108 pounds body. Only in 2015 did companies start running scenarios including a range of body types and sizes. Yeah, I saw the X-ray of someone's legs after their airbag went off with her feet on the dash. She had a shattered part of her femur stuck in her crotch like the most fucked up dildo. I do not want my shattered bones to be forcefully propelled into my pussy. No feet up in the car. No bone dildos. Dang, after reading these comments it makes me realize how different some of our lives are. For some people, ticks are something that is strange to find on you. Where I grew up, it was nightly routine to pull all the ticks off before you got in the shower. Interesting lives we all lead. Clothes and water, specifically long dresses like wedding dresses. Lots of people have died doing wedding shoots in shallow waters at the beach, or rivers, or even swimming pools. Those dresses get very heavy, catch lots of drag, and easily tangle around limbs. My godfather went on a scuba dive trip one year and his wife bought a camera for him. On the beach before the trip he took some photos of a small colorful fish that were swimming close to his legs, even tried to pet them but they stayed away. He went for a dive and developed the images the next day to show to his instructor. These were deadly fish, like the most venomous thing on the island, and his instructor just gulped in disbelief. He had the pictures framed and they are hanging in the living room. It's a great conversation starter, like, you see these fish? There, from that time I almost died.
Do you have any idea how convenient it is to use a Keurig machine for brewing coffee or tea? Personally, I gave up coffee a long time ago, but I was able to get a great, delicious cup of coffee in just seconds with no cleanup, no extra work, using a Keurig machine and a K-cup. And now I use my Keurig machine to brew tea, loose leaf tea, every day that I drink. And I also use it to make oatmeal and, anything else that you can put hot water into. So if you don't have a Keurig machine in your house, you're missing out. Try my affiliate link below in the description of the video, and you too can enjoy a great cup of coffee in seconds any time of day.
After that one video, I'm really uncomfortable on them. I was in an airport last year, and a little kid's shoelace got sucked in at the bottom. People were trying to yank the lace out while other riders started to pile up behind. I just hit the emergency stop button. Friendly reminder, it's there for a reason, don't be afraid to use it. Petrol, gasoline. I have seen so many videos of people trying to transport it in plastic bags, or buckets. It is incredibly volatile, even a small amount can instantly turn into a mini inferno. Carrying a gallon of the stuff in a plastic bag is insanity. I grew up in the upper Midwest. Often gets to -30 there in winter. Lots of snow and land of 10,000 lakes, so lots of ice and ice fishing. We did a winter survival course every year in elementary school. They taught us to test ice by throwing things and listening to the sound. Taught us how to lay down and distribute out weight on cracking ice. Taught us about hypothermia and paradoxical undressing and what to do when you first spotted the sign show to help someone else if you found them in that condition. What to have in our cars for emergencies when we eventually would get cars. What to do if you were trapped in a whiteout snowstorm, both if you were in a car or already on foot. Then they'd take us all day to a state park and we had to start fires ourselves, determine if something was ice, learn how to walk around in all the gear, and how to navigate to some degree in the forest. Was a really good experience, and even just being so cold and exhausted at the end of the winter survival day was a reminder of how serious that stuff is even now as an adult. My dad had a high school friend drown in chest-deep water due to sheer panic. The other guy on the boat was drunk. Dad swam as fast as he could but was too late. He made sure us kids could swim. When I was 5, my own mother almost drowned me due to sheer panic. Dad never let her swim with us again. Learn how to swim and keep calm in situations involving water and people. Added a word. Being knocked out. I guess a lot of people know that it is dangerous, but probably a good amount don't. We see it in movies all the time. People punched in the head with fists, chairs, pistols, etc. Then they wake up somewhere else, with maybe a minor headache but are pretty much good to go. I am not a doctor, but I can only assume that sustaining head trauma that is enough to render you unconscious is something pretty serious. You have to go to a hospital after something like that, you don't just walk it off. Also, fighting in general is quite dangerous, yet you see people getting in physical altercations all the time, for minor things. I have seen a video in my hometown where one guy punches another in the head, who then falls down back on his head and just starts twitching. There is a very good chance that the guy just ruined his own life and the life of the other dude. And for what? Because he looked at him funny or something.
Hey guys, do you ever have a problem getting to sleep at night? Well, I've got the magic pill to cure your insomnia. Much like you, I used to twist and turn all night. But then I discovered that you can take melatonin and Valerian Root together to get a good night's sleep every single night. I've been taking it every night by for years and years. I've been taking Valerian and melatonin, and this is my life hack to get a good night's sleep and vivid dreams every night. So be sure to click my affiliate links, and I will give you the gift of a good night's sleep.